Let's talk about something people love to try to minimize. When your manager calls you by the wrong name, you correct them once, maybe twice, and they still get it wrong. They may laugh, try to shorten it, maybe even swap it for a nickname you didn't choose, and then everyone else follows their lead, right? This isn't about pronunciation, it's about power. I'm Noël and I spent 30 years inside of executive HR handling hostile manager cases, cultural investigations, and escalation reviews tied to more than 22,000 careers. And I want to be very clear with you because when a manager repeatedly gets your name wrong after being corrected, that's not a mistake, it's a signal. And here's what most employees do next, right? Here's what they do. They minimize it. It's not worth making a thing out of it. They don't mean it. I don't want to look difficult. So they tolerate it, right? And inside the system, tolerance gets interpreted as consent because behavior like this doesn't live in isolation, it clusters. Name mistakes tend to show up alongside interruptions, dismissiveness, credit being reassigned, tone policing, and jokes just close enough to deny intent. Each moment looks small on its own, right? It looks small, but together it forms a pattern. And when this eventually escalates, because it always does, the question is never, was this offensive? The question becomes, when did the employee signal acceptance? Because silence answers that question for them, and that's the trap. This doesn't mean confronting emotionally. It doesn't mean accusing your manager in the moment. It doesn't mean like flicking off because all that backfires, right? All that backfires. The move is quieter and it's in writing. Not a complaint, not a confirmation, but a record. Here's what you do, right? You send a short follow-up framed around accuracy, something like this. Quick clarification from today's meeting. My name was referenced as XYZ. For accuracy going forward, it's pronounced ABC. Thanks. Get it? That message does three things. It names the behavior factually, it puts a correction on record, and it gives them a clean chance to adjust. It gives them a chance. No emotional accusation, no escalation. And if it stops, great. But if it doesn't, something important has changed because now repetition isn't accidental, it's documented. And this is where most people guess, and they shouldn't. They don't know if this counts. They don't know when a pattern becomes actionable. They don't know how HR actually interprets behaviors like this. And that's why HR Armor exists. Instead of guessing, you run this through the hostile manager analysis, the intelligence system inside of HR Armor. You enter what happened, how often, and in what context. And the system shows you how HR interprets repeated minor behaviors, when name-based behavior crosses into hostility, what not to say yet if you want to stay protected, and when documentation becomes leverage. Because hostile managers don't start hostile, right? They start dismissive. And the earliest analysis and the earliest signals are the ones that people are told to ignore. If your manager can't pronounce your name and doesn't bother to learn it, don't ignore that. Don't ignore that. Don't react emotionally. Document strategically. And if you want to see how HR Armor evaluates situations like this before they escalate, comment the word demo, because it starts with your name, mispronounced, corrected, and ignored. And that's not small. That's how power patterns begin.